This also goes for every Trinbagonian who going to live in a foreign land. Now is the time to come home and do something instead of staying out there and freezing. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us go hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together.
Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique depend on all of us to build it, to make it better, to transform it, to enhance it. I want to welcome you to the Dynamic Hour. Every Sunday, we try our best to lay a foundation for reasoning, not just for the Sunday, but throughout the week. My name is Kem Jones, and it is a pleasure for me to be on that journey with you again, where we can talk. For those who are tuned in via Vibes 101.3 FM or Vibes 106.3 FM, welcome. The radio is still relevant, and radio is very powerful, connecting with you in your vehicle, at home, on the block, on your different devices, because radio is no longer having some antenna and some wire connected somewhere and you can't move. Radio is online nowadays. Yes, you can still use your radio, your actual physical radio, all right, and get me still. So welcome to the program. Those on Facebook and YouTube, please share the live. Please share the live. I want to start off today by showing two short videos with our beloved Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell. And the reason why I'm showing those two pieces of videos is to really connect with what I have been saying for quite a while. And seeing our leader being able to continue with his outreach. Nothing is stopping him from connecting with his people in his constituency first and foremost. So while he is responsible for the state of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, right? The state of Grenada. It includes Carriacou and Petite Martinique. His first priority must be to his constituents, his people. But he continues to do that work excellently. And I pray and hope that all the other MPs could use him as a good example of representation. Nothing is stopping him from reaching out, from listening to his people, from going morning, midday, even during the nighttime, to touch base and to connect with his people. And I love that. But we hope that the others, that all the other MPs can do the same thing. And yes, they have been doing quite a bit. I have been following some of the MPs in terms of what they're posting and where they're at in the constituency. So a number of them, they're out there in the field connecting with their constituents. But if they can just do it like our beloved Prime Minister, or even better, I think we all will be smiling at the end of the day. So I want to start off with those two short videos, and you would kind of see what I'm saying. He is just grounded. He is a people's person. He is, down to earth, simple. That's the kind of person you want to represent you any day and every day.
And welcome. You're all doing a very interested work. And say this is work and helping the nation and the people around, and we do appreciate it. Because when I get up too long, we haven't seen any lights around. But now I see lights. Sometimes I'm afraid to go out because the road's so dark, and I'm all already frustrated. And your members or whatever, they are working good behind you. And congratulations and keep it going.
Yes, sir. I know you're relaxing. Yeah.
And Mr. Edwards.
Full of chat.
And I'm Magdalene Murray from Modern.
You can't really just keep track sometimes. Maybe I'm Murray related to Miss.
Yes, Miss Murray. Yes, and I really to the Samuel from them.
Alright, yeah, okay.
I know Johnny.
Very good.
And then I do appreciate it because I was a retired nurse, and then I got a little package that I was
Good.
so nice. After many years of struggling.
The good thing about it, what I appreciate you and Mayor for anything you feel to do, and that's you see you do this, and
Right.
you look gimmick with people. And I always like someone who stands firm and say, do what it is. Beautiful.
Morning.
No, man.
Yes. So, folks, when you watch this little video, I call it a reel. Just this little video, it's about 2 minutes long. It defines who our beloved Prime Minister is. He is a people's person. He is a humble leader. And he understands people. He's caring. He's loving. He's kind. But he understands people. Here he was with this two elderly constituents. And he recognized the gentleman, he recognized the lady, her family. That is the kind of connection you want always. And you heard what she said? She said she was a nurse. She is now retired. And she's happy she got her package. Thanks to who? The Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell and his team, his government. They were able to guarantee this lady, this retired nurse, her pension and her gratuity. She's happy. She's enjoying retirement. She doesn't have to worry too much because every month or every fortnight, she gets her pension. But she also got her gratuity, which is an advance on her pension. So when she reaches 72, then she would get her full pension, the total thing, the entire thing, every month. But she's extremely happy, and you can hear it in her voice. The joy, the warmth, the appreciation, you can hear it from her. And then the gentleman said, what I like about you, what you say you're going to do, you're doing it. When you make a promise, you're keeping that promise. and look at our Prime Minister in the field. I mean, I would play it again. I could see this thing 100 times. I'm telling you, it makes me feel good as a Grenadian to see a leader down to earth like this, simple, getting down on the ground, interacting with his constituents, listening to them, helping them, guiding them. I mean, he's just different. And that is what you want. And we want to see all the other members of parliament do a similar thing. Yes, we know a number of you have been doing that, which is great. Maybe it's not captured enough. Maybe you need to get a photographer or a PR person like the one that our beloved Prime Minister has, or the Honorable Andy Williams has. So you need somebody like that to capture the moment, who can use that lens and see what would be of importance to capture and share, so people can see and appreciate what you're doing in your constituency. Because I know a number of you are doing stuff. I saw videos and photos and other things. I've seen stuff online in particular, but more so photos, a lot of photos. And so we need to start to see reels, little videos capturing the moment. Look at our beloved Prime Minister and use him as an example, because he's the leader. Use him as an example of how you can go about in your constituency, connecting with your constituents, listening to your constituents, seeing and finding ways and means to help the people within your constituency. You can't help everybody, and you would not be able to do everything one go, as we would say it, but you have to start the process. And if you have started the process, intensify it, increase it. Because so far, I tell you, this video, the short piece of video, it says a lot about who our beloved Prime Minister is as a person.
And welcome. You're all doing a very interesting work, and interesting work, and helping the nation and the people around, and we do appreciate it. Because when I get up too long, we haven't seen any light around. But now I see light. Sometimes I'm afraid to go out because the road so dark, and I'm all already frustrated. And your members or whatever, they are working good behind you. And congratulations, and keep it going.
Yes, sir. I know you're relaxing. Yes.
And Mr. Edwards.
Full of chat.
And I'm Magdalene Murray from Modern.
You can't really just keep track sometimes.
Maybe I'm Murray related to Miss.
Yes, Miss Murray. Yes, and I related to the Samuels and them.
Nice. Yeah. Well, okay.
I know Johnny.
Very good.
And then I do appreciate you because I was a retired nurse, and then I got a little package that I was after many years of struggling.
The good thing about it, what I appreciate you and Mayor for anything you feel to do, and that's in manifesto you say you do this, and you don't gimmick with people. And I always like someone who stands firm and say, do what it is.
Morning.
No, man.
To the folks on the radio, I'm actually showing a short reel or video of our beloved Prime Minister in the community, in his constituency, from afternoon into night, touching base with his constituents, but just the way he does it, how he interacts with his constituents and people generally. You could kind of feel the genuine nature of the individual, that he's genuine. He wants good for people. He wants to see the people, in a better position in terms of their living standard and their condition. And he's unafraid We never experienced in the last 15 to 20 years, we never saw a prime minister in that way, going down on the ground and just intermingling, listening, engaging, helping, and don't matter the time. It could be morning, it could be night, it could be, there used to be this big wall between the prime minister and the people during Keith Mitchell's time as prime minister. You used to see all this SSU and RRU and big guns, and it was like this short guy was afraid of the people. There was this big barrier, and people who know what I'm talking about could relate, could say, yes, Kim, what you're saying is correct. But the most honorable Deacon Mitchell came and he changed that. He's more accessible, he's more reachable, he's there. You may see him in the community where you live anytime. I was looking for that video where he visited that young lady who called in DMs with PM. He has this podcast. This young lady called and she spoke about that road in St. Mark. Is it Cow Hill? Somewhere in St. Mark. I think it's Cow Hill, somewhere in St. Mark where the road is really bad. And she expressed, to our beloved Prime Minister, well, look, we have a lot of people living in this area. And he promised, Cow Hill, he promised that he will send his team in the Ministry of Infrastructure, Works, to visit her, to visit the area. And lo and behold, he did not just send them, he went along with them to visit her and the people in that community. I was actually looking for it because I saw it either on his Facebook page, right? Because I was kind of looking for it on either on his Facebook page or on the Prime Minister's office Facebook page. But somewhere there I saw it. All right. But I was looking for that reel to it's a short video. I saw it somewhere there. But I'm just not able to lay my hands on it. I just can't remember which site or which page it was on, but I actually saw it. All right. But that was really good. And it says a lot. It says that his podcast, DM with PM, is not a joke. And when you call in and you interact with him, he's taking notes. You could see an MP in the field without a notebook or without a pen or paper, without a tablet, without a phone, taking information. You could see an MP like that out there and you say, man, I didn't think he taking me serious or seriously. I believe it's just the usual talk, the usual bluff. But with our Prime Minister, it's different. He follows up. He reaches out. And I am certain that that young lady who called in the first, that first show or the inaugural show or the first of many series or many shows, she will tell others, well, look, I called and I was able to engage the Prime Minister and he did not disappoint. He did not disappoint. He went and he visited her, right? I was looking for it. Maybe somebody may have sent it to me on WhatsApp, the link, because I was looking for it, but I'm not able. Somewhere I bounced it up, either yesterday, to show you what I'm referring to, but somewhere. But it says a lot about the individual. He is not just talking, but if you engage him on his podcast or in person, he will follow up. He takes notes. He has his assistants and so on. They would record and they would follow up with you. And that says a lot about his leadership style. Because there are some people who say they're leaders and they would mama guy you, they would papi show you, right? Or they have all kind of excuse every time you meet them. But when it comes to our beloved Prime Minister, the most honorable Deacon Mitchell, he is a man of his word. And that is why the gentleman, the elderly gentleman in that video I played there, said, what I love about you, if you say you're going to do something, you normally do it. And look, big up your whole self. Because people are noticing that. People are observing that. He is a caring Prime Minister. He is a loving Prime Minister. He is a humble Prime Minister. Because you would never, in your wildest dreams, see somebody like Keith Mitchell out in the field in a night like this or late afternoon like this. Never. Not even if you're dreaming. It would not happen. It never happened. There was this big wall erected. You always had a lot of, SSU with big guns and all kind of stuff. It's just different. But I am playing this to say that the other MPs should use him as an example of good representation. And I know some of you all are doing a fantastic job. You're going out there, you're engaging your constituents in your own nice, unique little way. That's wonderful. But I am saying just use him as an example. He will travel, but that would not affect his constituency events and activities and being involved and posting what is being done within his constituency. It's just different. So we want to see the others do a similar thing or up your game. All right? Up your work within your constituency like him. Use him as an example. He has this series, this financial literacy clinic or series that he's doing in his constituency, and it will be replicated. It will roll over into other constituencies. And he expressed his gratitude and thanks to the people who make it happen, but he also spoke about this young lady who he engaged, who he met, and how her life has been changed forever.
A young lady came to me and asked for assistance to get some plywood to build a house. And I asked her where she planned to build a house. And she said she thinks she had some land somewhere that belonged to the family somewhere, and she was hoping that she'd be able to clear a spot and build a house. So I asked if she was employed, and she said yes. I asked her if she recognized that if she didn't own the land, that even if you got what you were asking for, which was materials at the time, you still have to find a contractor to build it. And you still have to pay the contractor to build it. And so you have to have money to do that. And that didn't occur to her. So I asked her if she was aware that right next door, there were apartments for sale by the housing authority. She said, well, she was aware, but she never really thought it through. Mind you, she has 2 or 3 children. So I said to her, well, maybe you should go to the apartments and have a look at them. And the first response, well, it's not really my thing, I want my own space, I want to plant, etc. But I said, you have nothing now. And you're here talking with me to ask me to help you, and that help is going to come from the taxpayers of Grenada. So everything goes in stages. So let's deal with the fact that you have nothing now. Let's deal with the fact that you want to get to a point where you have a home. And there's a journey that you have to take to get to that point. So I said, perhaps you can work with me and you can go and visit the housing scheme. And she went. And I said, what do you think? She said she liked it. I said, good. I said, the next step is we have to figure out how you get it. And I said, so you already have one foot in because you're working and you can get a job letter? She said, yes. I said, well, Ariza, is Ariza here? Yes. I said, Ariza is offering financing to help support people who want to buy. She said she doesn't have an account at Ariza. I said, that's fine. You can go in, you can open the account, you can tell them that you are trying to buy an apartment at the current housing scheme, and they will tell you what you need to do. I said, in addition, you'll have to fill up the form at the housing scheme to say you're interested in applying for an apartment. She did that. She went into Ariza, she opened the account. They told her the criteria. It was, I think, 20%. That's too high, by the way. She said she had 10%. And that a friend was going to give her the other 10%. So I said, is this friend male or female? She said male. I was like, is he really a friend? Or is he something else? Well, she didn't quite, I still don't know the answer to that. But obviously she didn't have 20%. And I was concerned that I said to her, if this friend gave you 10%, it probably means the friend name is going to have to go on the title deed, which means then you wouldn't really own the property, it would be joint ownership. So I said, I need you to think about this seriously and then you'll come back to me. But by then the friend disappeared. So the 10% was no longer available. I gave her the 10%. Well, let me rephrase that. I told her I would lend her the 10% so that she could make the 20%. And she came in and she signed for the loan and she got that additional 10%, so she had the 20% criteria. Then she started calling me because she was frustrated. It was taking long. She couldn't understand a lot of the processes. Ariza want insurance, they want this, they want that. Is this how they treat poor people? Is this how they make everything happen? So I said to her, that's not how they treat poor people, that's how they treat everybody. That is a long process, that sometimes is a little too cumbersome, but you have to understand why. So why do they want insurance? So I explained to her why. I was like, well, I don't know what kind of insurance they're asking you for, but there are different kinds. You could have life insurance, so that if you die, God forbid, soon after you get this apartment, you have 3 children, and the life insurance could be used to pay off the loan so that your children are not thrown out of the apartment and they become owners of the apartment. I said, or it could be credit, life, and disability insurance, so that if you become disabled and you're unable to work, then the insurance will pay off the loan, and so you can remain in your apartment with your children. So I said, even if you don't have the money to pay the insurance monthly, the loan can actually cover that, because they can give you a loan where you actually pay the insurance from the loan. So I walked her through this process, and eventually, when it was still taking a little too long, I called Mr. Lord and I said, Mr. Lord, you have my personal assurance that this young lady will pay Ariza, and in any event you have 20% security. The property is being sold at a significantly discounted price. There is significant equity, and the government is supposed to be guaranteeing the any default, because we are satisfied that if people don't pay, that the apartments can be sold again. So really, Ariza has a 100% guarantee that they will make money on these loans. And I guess Mr. Lord worked his magic, and soon thereafter, the young lady became, for the first time in her life, a property owner of an apartment that she owns, that she's worked for, that she's paying for, and her children live in. Now it means somewhere between our initial engagement, which could have just ended with probably sheets of plywood sitting somewhere hoping that someone will help her build, perhaps rotting away, or perhaps somebody stealing it, or going and build it in a place where there's no water, no electricity, no road, no street lights at night. And her getting the apartment in Corinth, there's a huge gap, and that gap is the financial literacy. That gap is understanding how banks work, how credit unions work, how insurance work, why they work, the importance of them, what land ownership means, what property ownership means. But crucially, it means the dignity of the young lady and her children. It means the fact that the building is located in a place that's central. There's a current community center, there's a current school, there's Las Vegas Beach, there's Las Vegas playing field, there's access to almost every and any kind of amenity. It therefore means the quality of her children's life ought to be significantly improved than it was before. But there's one cherry on the cake. You know, oftentimes we think that our people are not honest and they don't mean well. A couple months after, I got a call and she said, I'd like to know how I pay you back your 10%. And that was the best part of this entire engagement. But I told her she didn't have to pay me back, but she could put $100 a month aside in a savings account, and I'll be checking on her to make sure she do it so that she saves money for herself and her children for a rainy day, for health shocks, for economic shocks, etc. So I'm making the point to say, especially for financial institutions, for the most part, our citizens want an opportunity and they want a chance. You may have the exceptional bad mind who just don't want to pay even if they can pay. But for the most part, most people respect their dignity. They try to honor their word. And certainly when it comes to their home or homes, they will do everything to earn a home that they're proud of and to be able to finance and repay those who assisted them in getting that home. Because a home signifies a number of other things that I think we all know about, given the history of the Caribbean, the history of Grenada. So I'm giving this example because I was inspired by recognizing that if I had not, and perhaps if she called me a few times and didn't get me and got frustrated, and see all politicians are the same, if I didn't stay the course with her and walk her through to say, this is why you need the insurance, this is the advantage of the insurance, if I didn't ask her to think twice about whether or not she showed this is a real partner that she's getting this 10% from or something else, it would have been easy for her to walk away. And so our institutions, our community leadership, or financial leadership needs to make sure that we support our people along the journey. And to me, that starts with educating them about the process and educating them as early as possible as to the advantages of all of the financial tools that are available to support them and to encourage their success. And that's the main challenge. People don't know, and sometimes it's difficult to find the information. So I hope that by bringing all of us together today, I hope this becomes a model where we can go to our communities. It doesn't have to be community centers, it doesn't have to be during the week. I appreciate for a lot of the workers at the financial institutions, it might be a sacrifice to shop on a Saturday or after work, but we can get pretty efficient and pretty good at it. A 1 hour session on a topic in a community center could make a significant difference in the decisions that our citizens make.
Yes, so folks, that there says a lot about the approach that our Prime Minister will always take. It would not be a hand out, but it will be a hand up. You realize that this particular piece I just played is saying to all of us, you and I, our beloved Prime Minister wants good for you and your family. Very clear. And it's not you just coming and ask for bread, but him giving you line, hook, bait, and saying, go and fish, feed your family, and help other people. Very clear. That story of this young lady is a story that should be told, replayed, because with technology it's already documented, replayed 100 times to people who believe that there is no way out or no way up from here. And you keep knocking and you say, well, I tired knock. I give up now. There are good people out here. And our Prime Minister is leading by example. Leading, guiding her and saying, yes, you could do it. And you're doing it for your children, not just you, but your children, and it will be your children benefit. Because once you have a home, it could pass down to different generations. And if you speak to mothers in particular, all right, they would tell you, you always have a home. Because what they did, mother and father, but many a times it's just the mother. Because we know we have a lot of single parent households in Grenada, and it tend to be led by the mothers, meaning the mothers are the head of the home and they fight or struggle to take care of their kids and bring them up and so on. And they would tell you, you always have a home here. Because why? They always thinking down the road. What if their daughter and boyfriend or husband fall out? They don't want their daughter to be on the streets. They want that daughter to know that she can come back home and bunker down. All right? And that is what good parents do. They try to get a home or have a home so that if something happens down the road, and it's really building generational wealth, generational wealth. So it's a good thing. It's a good story of our Prime Minister helping and guiding and mind you, he's not the type of guy who would come out there and say what he does for people. But he was in this forum and he wanted to share that story to motivate others so that they can understand there is hope, there is opportunity, there is a lot out there that you can grab onto and make it. Because I told a number of people, the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell, he has been helping in so many areas for many years, even before entering politics. Even before entering politics, I have encountered this goodly gentleman before politics. I remember starting this volunteer organization, and I needed a lawyer, I needed guidance and assistance to shape this thing and bring it to life. And he volunteered freely, free, no pay. He did all what was required from his pocket. And also he decided he will volunteer to serve as a director of that organization at the time. That's donkey years ago. I remembered we had a lunch at Pirates Cove, just above Flamboyant Hotel. Well, at the time, it was Flamboyant Hotel, not Kiwana Bay Resort. All right? And the Governor General attended, the Prime Minister then attended, the Honorable Tillman Thomas at the time, and Sir Carlisle Glean Sr., he was the Governor General at the time. So they both attended, and, other dignitaries. So I have been around a long time ago. I'm not new to this, all right? So, and I'm talking about 2009, somewhere down there, all right? So I've been around a while. So I have encountered the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell a long time ago, and he would do things without mentioning it. He was not that kind of public guy. And that is why some people were saying, well, we come out away the day or some kind of, all these different things. But he has been around for quite a while, giving, assisting. And it's not just a hand out, but a hand up. A hand up. And I want to applaud him. I want to commend him for what he continues to do. But the bigger message here is the other MPs, you need to do likewise. And yes, Sawandi Sam, you are so correct. CYVS. You know, Sawandi has a good memory. Yeah, I think you are actually part of that too, Sam. Sawandi, you know, yeah, quite a number of the outstanding young people who are in so many different positions within Grenada, they were part of that. That I can point to how many doctors, lawyers, you know, public servants, those who migrated to greener pastures, nurses, yeah, police officers today. Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, quite a bit. They were part of that movement that I started way back when. All right. Yes. So thank you, Sawandi, for reminding me. So I'm not new to this. So the MPs, the other MPs, I know you're out there. I'm seeing you. I realize that you're doing more, right? Connecting with people in your constituencies and reaching out. That's good. But just use our beloved Prime Minister as an example of representation at the constituency level. Just use him as that template, right? That guide to go in the constituency. It could be morning, it could be midday, it could be afternoon into evening. And mind you, his timing is very good, because if you go out in the field early morning, you may not find the people at home. They might be at work, or midday, they might be at work. But if you go afternoon into evening, there's a great probability you will find all of them home. So that's a good timing to visit your constituents. And even if you're able to connect or reconnect with 5 houses or 10, at least you are successful in that you reach a great number of people. The most disappointing thing that can happen is for you to be in the field. You go to the first house, good morning, good day. Nobody answers. I could tell you about that. You go to the next house, good morning, good afternoon, good day. Nobody answers. And then you get kind of disappointed, right? Because I mean, during my time of campaigning and managing campaigns, it's house to house. It's knocking on doors. It's getting to know the voter and eyeballing the voter, so to speak, and having a conversation to get to know deep down whether the person supports you or not. All right? That's a good way to do it. So it could be disappointing if you go to the first house, nobody, second house, third house, because people at work. So the afternoon period is always better. So it's a good opportunity, and you have your aides or your assistants with you, taking notes, taking information. That's the way to do it. So I want to encourage the MPs, because I could be very harsh on you from time to time. Some of you tend to become very uncomfortable, even with my presence, much less my tone, much less my rhetoric or my sentiment or my advice or my sayings or whatever you want to call it, my opinion. All right, I could be very harsh on you at times, but I see you, and I realize that you're out there trying your best now, more than ever before, to reconnect with your constituents and to do more and more. But I'm saying this is a good example. Use our beloved Prime Minister as a guide, as a good example of representation at the constituency level, of doing stuff, of reconnecting, of meeting the people. And look, you don't need an expert with you in terms of PR and capturing the moment. All you need is a smartphone or a camera. That's all you need. And somebody who has eyes to capture moments that would be viral, moments that would be big for you, because you can be out there doing stuff and people don't know. because there is this new lazy on the part of some of the PR people within government, or some of the folks who you expect to promote you and to put you out there. There's this new lazy where they just take some photos and a lot of writing, caption, and a lot of, paragraph after paragraph and all. People are not interested in that. People don't read as before. How they consume information, it's through reels and videos. We're in 2025. So a person prefers to sit and watch, or let me not say sit, you're on the go, you're on your smartphone, and you prefer to watch this thing for 30 seconds or for a minute, outlining X, Y, and Z, than you go and click on some photo, and then you have to go read 3 or 4 paragraphs to tell you what it is. So we have to innovate and be smart in this day and age. But I want to commend our beloved Prime Minister, because I think he's doing a fantastic job and he's leading by example. And I pray and hope that the other MPs will pattern in his footstep and reconnect with their people, identify their people in the different constituencies, and do the work. Because a lot is happening in the different constituencies, but it has to be captured. It has to be out there. People need to know. So this is a really, really good example of representing your people within the various constituencies. I want to also say Grenadians tend to vote for the leader of the party and government, the Prime Minister. That's Grenadians. So yes, the MP is important. The MP needs to do the work and lay that foundation to make it easy, right? But Grenadians, the electorate, the voters, they tend to vote for the leader because they want a strong leader. They want a visionary as a leader. They want an intelligent person as a leader. They want a practical person as a leader. They want a person who is caring, who is loving, who is humble, who understands people. And they see that in the most honorable Deacon Mitchell. So come the next election, it would still be the most honorable Deacon Mitchell versus the other lady, what's her name? On the other side, right? So that would be the choice you have to make. Not just your MP versus his or her opponent or some other candidate for the other party. The choice you will have before you would be choosing the most honorable Deacon Mitchell, who has demonstrated in the last many years that he cares about people and that he wants to see your living standard and condition improve. And he don't just wants to see that, but he will help you to improve your living standard and condition. He has a good temperament. He's modest. He's humble. He's meek. He's forward-thinking. He's a visionary. He's intelligent. And he understands the world, the global stage. And the choice is very clear. The choice is very clear. And I want to encourage him to continue remaining humble, continue putting forward his vision, continue reaching out and connect with people, because we are noticing it. We are observing it. There's a eben taking place. And if you throw a pebble in the sea or in the water, you see this eben, this wave-like motion replicating, moving. That is what you want. And it's happening. We have to applaud him, commend him. So let's keep that the way it is, right? Yeah, let's keep it so. and let's encourage him and let the others use him as an example. You have to strive to be like him. You know, that is what it's supposed to be. He's a good example, a good leader, a humble leader, a decent person who wants good for his people. And he has demonstrated that not just in talking, but in acting, doing, actual doing. Keep it up. We applaud you. We applaud you. Right. Remember the Housing Authority Project 500. That's coming on nicely. That's coming on nicely. All right.
Phase 1 of the Project 500 housing initiative at Dunfermline St. Andrew is nearing completion. This update was shared on Wednesday during a site visit by Minister for Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, Senator the Honorable Gloria Thomas. She was accompanied by Mr. Randall Dolland, project sponsor of Project 500, who says the project is 65% completed. The Government Information Service was on location to capture the visit. Abigail McIntyre filed this report.
Project 500 was developed to address the growing demand for affordable housing across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Access to housing remains a top priority for the Dickon Mitchell-led administration. The Dunfermline site is the first to be developed under this initiative. It will feature 17 homes in this pilot phase, constructed using modern building techniques and efficient technologies. 7 months after its launch, the site is now nearly completed, with final works expected to conclude within the next 6 weeks. Project sponsor Randall Dolland noted the rapid pace of construction and emphasized that in addition to the homes, essential infrastructure such as roads and drainage systems are also being installed.
When you look at what we were able to accomplish in such a short time, we know the regular time it takes to build a home in Grenada is usually around like 9 months. But in this case, we've been in a year and a half, we're going to have 17 homes up, and as well as a lot of infrastructure completed. And that includes a lot of significant road works and drain work. So when the project is completed, you have a really wonderful, thriving community with great infrastructure already placed and located. Not only are these homes just great quality homes overall, but they're also designed to withstand natural disasters. Obviously, knowing that with the changing climates, changing times, with global warming, and the threats that we have as small and developing states, we have to ensure that when we build now, we build quality homes that can withstand these natural disasters. So that has all been factored in. And again, so we give you high quality and safe, secured homes. The other important thing to note is, as you look around on some of these homes, they all have great insulation built in. So that energy insulation is important. And why is that important? Is because it will take you a lot less energy to cool your home and also retain that cool air for a much longer period of time. So again, there was a lot of thought that went into the design and to the sort of material that we were building with, because it has to be compatible with our current climate and environment to withstand all the threats that may come our way in the future, and also things like parasites or whatever else that we want to sort of be mindful of when we're building here. So these homes are sustainable. They don't necessarily use all of the sand and gravel and other aggregates that we may need in some instances. But again, that's the whole point of testing different technologies. You use a lot less of it, and you use it to build long-term sustainably and not deplete the planet of its natural resources.
All homes are designed by local Grenadian professionals. While the building materials were sourced internationally, the vision and layout reflect local talent and creativity. The 7-acre development also holds a designated green space that will provide recreational opportunities for residents of the new community. Minister for Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, Senator the Honorable Gloria Thomas, expressed satisfaction with the project's progress and anticipation for its completion.
As Minister, I feel very much happy. I'm very much impressed with the progress being made, and I believe that we could complete this project in the next 6 weeks. I am very much impressed with the different technology that have been used. We have different options here, different sizes, and I think this is an opportunity for interested persons to have a wide variety of choices in the houses that are here. So we offer them different models, and I think people will find something that they're interested in. We start from the cozy, the smaller ones, up to 3 bedrooms. So we have 2 bedrooms, we have 3 bedrooms. And I think people will choose what they think is best for them based on their income, based on the family size, and based on the taste. As we are all aware, housing is a basic human need, and the demand in St. Andrew is very high. It is also high in other parishes, but I can tell you the number of persons coming forward for housing in St. Andrew is really overwhelming. And I think having the project here in St. Andrews that will address some of the housing needs, and I think it is well placed here to be taken up by residents in this parish.
As Phase 1 nears completion, preparations are underway for the launch of a new home design, the Hibiscus Home. These upgraded units will be featured in Phase 2, which will span an additional 17 acres at the Dunfermline location.
This is a modification to what we originally said on the project with the Hibiscus Home. The original home was 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. However, we were not getting good feedback and uptake on it. So at this point, we went back to the drawing boards, and again, the local team went back to work and redesigned this home. So this home will essentially be a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, but it will also have the option of easily adding a 3rd bedroom to it. So if you want to decide on expanding your home at a future point, you can do so. It will be all locally designed, locally built, and all the materials sourced locally here in Grenada. So we're pleased to have this option, and more importantly, or most importantly, will be a price point that will be coming in under market value. So here at Project 500, we have solutions for everybody, every sort of price point, and these are great homes, energy efficient homes, smart homes. And it's not just about simply putting a roof over your head. It's really about giving you a wonderful lifestyle, a great sanctuary to come home to at the end of the day. Something that, your friends, family, your relatives from overseas, when they come in, they'll be like, wow, you really live in a wonderful home. So it should really elevate the lifestyle of all Grenadians. That's the whole point of the project. Again, using the new technologies, using local talent, using local labor. And we're proud of what we have accomplished here in a very short time. We will continue to work to assess the program, understand what the demand for these homes would be, and from there we will continue to move forward with the most popular homes. But ultimately, we pretty much have done a wonderful pilot, and we have great product that we will be sharing with you very shortly. So stay tuned in the coming months for more information.
Yeah, that's good. So that's Project 500. So they're nearing completion for the first phase of that. It's about 17 homes that they would complete and use as a showcase. More or less, you can go there and say, I want this house, or I want that one. All right? And then they would build, because they're going to the second phase now, where they're going to build some more houses. I mean, it's really, really remarkable. And they would move to other constituencies, other parishes with a similar thing. So they must be commended. They must be applauded for that, where the government is, through Housing Authority, building the homes, and then you can just come and just buy it. Instead of having to go and get a contractor to build this and build that. No. That is a real ease up for many, many people. All right? So, folks, I want to thank you for being a part of the program. We are over the time. But remember, on the 31st, the last Saturday of this month, we will be in New York. So after this week, then we have next week. So after this week here, the event will be next Saturday. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So remember that. Not this Saturday coming, but next Saturday, Saturday 31st. So it's not long from now. So I will be in New York. The Honorable Ron Reddit will be there. The Honorable Ian Thomas will be there, and your humble servant, Kem Jones, will be there with you in New York. The event will be at, well, the Backyard. Everybody knows it as the Backyard. 618 East 87th Street. That's 618 East 87th Street. That's the Backyard. So that's where the event will be. Tickets are going nicely from all reports. So I want to encourage you to buy your tickets up. Pam has tickets. Many people know Pam in Brooklyn, right? She has her own store and stuff there. I think she does hairdressing and other things like that. So Pam, she has tickets now. My good friend Norma Joseph, she has tickets. My good friend Glenroy Bettel, he has tickets. My good friend Twit, he has tickets. The Real Meech has tickets. My aunt Catherine Peters, she has tickets. Again, I might be missing out one or two other people, but there's tickets out there. All right. So I want to encourage you. It's $40 donation for the tickets. So we have tickets. A number of people reached out to me today. I just send them the number for the people with tickets. So, if you want tickets, you can pick them up. You can get them. They are available. It's $40 US for the tickets. Remember, we'll be celebrating 3 years and we'll be celebrating 11 years of your humble servant being on radio doing this program. And also, all proceeds go towards the studio and radio station project. All right. So if you're out there in New York, in Brooklyn, make some time to be a part of that event. It starts at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Music, food, drinks. The vibes will be nice. All right. It will be nice at the Backyard, 618 East 87th Street. The Backyard. That's where all the kayaks, the Karakou crew, that's where all the events are normally held, or nearly all of them. So it's quite a popular location. Folks, I want to wish you all the best. Don't forget, we're going to Karakou on June the 21st, Saturday, June the 21st. Tickets, $100. For one, we're going up there to celebrate with the Honorable Tevin Andrews. We're going to spend the day at Paradise Beach. Food, drinks on sale there, music. The vibes will be nice. It will be nice. We're going to do a kind of tour around Karakou too. So, it will be wonderful. It's wonderful. We have tickets at Ricky's Bar in St. George's. Tickets are available there. And, of course, I have tickets. So if you need tickets, you can get it from me too. Take good care, folks.